Hello everybody, we are back, and I think I'm gonna upload a clip I already recorded from my Snapchat of the car running, because yeah, it runs. So it's actually ready to go. I'm waiting for 2 more parts to come that broke in the process of me putting everything together, which is keeping it from running for a long time. It runs right now, it runs. It's not going to drive because I broke. I'll show you the first part. First reason why we're not going to be taking it out just yet is this shifter bracket piece right here broke, and now the shifter can't shift correctly at all with that being broken, because nothing's holding it right. I can't really, I can get into the gears, but when you're in here, it's not right. So that needs to be fixed. I bought that. That's on the way. That's not going to be hard to install at all. So that one's good. So that's coming. And the other part, I have to actually order this weekend coming up, and it's actually Monday. So we're looking at still about 2 weeks or so of the car not running. But the radiator has a hole in it. I dropped the plenum from the old motor on the radiator on accident a few months ago, and I figured the radiator might be fine, but something deep inside me said to run water through it and see if it would leak anyway, because it's not on this side. Or wait, it is on this side, my bad. It is right here, that one right there. There's a dent, or not a dent, obviously there's a dent, but there's a hole, a small little hole where when I put coolant in it when I had it in the car, it was leaking out, and that's not going to work. Your coolant system pressurizes to make sure the boiling point lowers even more, so that, you know, your coolant isn't boiling in there. It's not supposed to be doing that. So that's not going to help. That's going to make coolant boil and get air in your coolant. You don't want to do all that. So I bought a new radiator, or not yet. I haven't bought that yet. I bought the shifter. That's going to be coming here tomorrow, and I'll put that in. The radiator I'll have to buy Friday when I get paid. But other than that, once that stuff's in there, we'll be ready to drive it. But it does run, and no, it's not misfiring, even though I've had a few people try to tell me that, and it's actually in the video clip that you'll see. It is the computer retarding and advancing the timing, trying to get everything set right, because this is a different motor and it hasn't been running in a few months, so it's trying to get everything right. And also the fuel I'm running in there, and I'm also running out of fuel, so it's actually really low on fuel and has like a lot of air in the lines. So there'll be a few times where it's cutting out on fuel and the computer's just timing everything, getting everything right. But everything is actually timed correctly. It's actually shooting the fuel injector sequence is correct. The reason that I was a little worried about that is I bought a cheap harness from eBay for the early style fuel injectors, because the new style was for that other original motor I had in the car, and the Wiring Specialties harness was for the newer style, and I ended up getting another old style. That's why I also had to change the igniter to a newer style while running the older style injectors. But anyway, there's no numbers on the coil, or let me show you what I'm talking about. This is a new style fuel injector harness. If you notice on there, let me get it to focus, I'll throw it on manual real quick. If you notice on there, there's numbers. See it? You see that right there? That's 6. There's 3 there, 4, and there's numbers and everything on that harness. So the reason that I was a little worried about if that was going to do the sequence for the fuel injectors correctly is because that cheap harness I bought did not have numbers, and there was no installation guide on how to properly put that in. There was no color wire diagram like I used for the igniters that told you by using the different colors which cylinder that goes to. There was nothing. You just had to make an educated guess with the lengths of the wires that are able to reach to certain cylinders, and I ended up getting that right, so that's good. There's a dent right there. I don't know what that's from. Anyway, so I got that figured out. That's actually, the injectors are actually firing in the correct sequence along with the igniters. Last time I put the other motor in there, I put the igniters in the wrong spot, and I was only shooting like 3 or 4 cylinders with the correct amount of the correct ignition timing, and the other ones were like all flipped around. I had a few igniters plugged into the O2 sensors because they have the same plug, it was a lot of mess, but this time it's actually done all right. Everything's correct. Everything's working fine. The motor has oil pressure, which I've been super happy about, because that means that we're good to go. There's literally been no leaks from the times I have been running it. Nothing's leaked out of it. The power steering's working good. The fluid isn't leaking out of that like last time. I fixed the lines earlier in the months in the past. Everything's working good. Everything's ready to go. Once I get these two parts, it's going to be together and running and driving, and I'll show you that when we get there. But for now, it's just a waiting process. I'm actually going to do a few more things. I'm going to go under the car and I'm going to tighten the heat shield on my starter. I have it on there, I just have it on there loosely so I could start it, make sure everything was running and going. So I'm going to put that on. Then I'm going to tighten the other, there's a hole for your O2 sensor to screw onto your headers on both sides. And I only put one O2 sensor in because I can only get this adapter on the O2 sensor. Let me find one. On your O2 sensors, on your OEM exhaust manifolds, there's an adapter. This big piece is actually not a part of the O2 sensor itself. It's to make it fit into these bigger OEM exhaust manifolds. And on your headers, they're small. They actually want you to not have this big nut around your O2 sensor. And this little one's the actual nut to the sensor. And I could not separate that on the other ones. So that led me to just go ahead and use one O2 sensor, and it doesn't check it. There's no check engine light. The computer works with that. It doesn't have a problem with it. So I have one sensor running, and the other one's just has a block plate that came with the headers on both sides. But obviously one's using the O2 sensor. The other one, I need to make sure that I tighten that screw in that's blocking everything, blocking the exhaust, so that we're good to go there. I'm also adding another thing. I had to delete the EGR valve because a vacuum line that went to the valve itself like rusted through or something and broke off. It had rust around it. I mean, it shouldn't be metal, but it kind of had metal inside the little vacuum rubber line. I don't know what was up with that, but it rusted off. So EGR got deleted, and I sealed up all the vacuum lines, but I'm still gonna buy these EGR plates to block off the EGR pipes that go to the plenum. But there's still no vacuum leaking through that, so I made sure of that. I also rerouted the way the vacuum lines work, so they're on their own little custom loop that I did, and that's working fine. Everything's working fine, running good, sounds good, and I'm really excited to get it running. We just have these two setbacks, the shifter and the radiator, and once that's all fixed, I'll go ahead and button up the rest. So that shifter thing, like I said earlier, is coming tomorrow. I'm gonna throw it in here, and when I get that shifter bracket, I'm gonna go ahead and put everything else on under the car so I can lower the car. It doesn't have to be in the air anymore. It'll be good to go. So I'll put the exhaust on. Well, first the drive shaft, then the heat shield over that, then the exhaust, and then the exhaust cross member, and then it'll be good to go from there. And then we'll just wait for payday, get the radiator, throw the radiator in, and we'll start driving her again. Super excited. The audio system's completely ready, done, set up. Everything else is ready to go. And then I also need to throw gas in it. That's the other thing. I need to put a lot of gas in it because it's about empty, honestly. It's running on fumes. So after that, we'll be good for now. We'll have our daily back, our daily little sports car. And then I'll start building on the real project that I bought this car for, the real motor that I wanted to put in it. And I'm really excited for that. So that'll be coming along soon. I'll have to go and order that block online. So I'm excited for that. It's a motor swap, obviously. I know after I just put a motor in, I'm about to put another one, but that's going to be later on in the year. Not this year, next year. It's going to probably be a summertime project for next year. But anyway, that's all we've got done. It's ready to go. It's driving. Everything's working right. I have my pressure. I'm very excited. I haven't had an actual fully functional motor in a while. And I'm so happy that we're finally getting in a good direction with this car. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry I didn't do a little video of me starting it here and skipped out on a few other installation videos, but you're not missing too much. So hopefully the next video I upload is of me driving it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.